The shadow we're standing in didn't appear overnight. It was cast long ago when the definition of loyalty was traded for a seat at a table where we aren't even guests. We're the centerpiece. For decades, if you're black like me, you've watched the erosion of the black community from the inside out. We stopped being loyal to our own storefronts, our own schools, and ultimately to our own best interest. Instead, we outsourced our political soul to a Democrat Party that treats us like a reliable stage prop. Every couple of years, they dust us off to provide the right aesthetic of struggle. We go out into the street, hooping and hollering, ratting and raving, chasing ghosts in whichever direction they point us in, highlighting and championing battles against invisible threats. Then, with the snap of a finger, we are shoved back into the garage to wait another 4 years until it's time for us to do our shuck and jive act once again. When a people loses the instinct to protect their own house, when a people loses the instinct to defend their own best interest, they lose the capacity to be loyal to not only the nation they reside in, but they lose the capacity to be loyal to themselves. That's why when I see this situation going on with the Iran thing, and I see this pivot of African Americans, whether it be a pivot towards anti-war or anti-Semitism or any of the things that really, when I was growing up, we didn't care about as a group either way. It's so damn predictable. It isn't about principle. It's not about being against war, anti-war. It's about lack of skin in the game. A wise man once said, ignorance is bliss. And when you choose no sides, you can always be the good guy. You can always be the source of virtue, at least in your own mind. When you've been trained to view your own flag, that would be the American flag, as an enemy, and your own neighbor as some agent of opposition, as a competitor to you for whatever crumbs fall from the table of the elites, why would you ever stand for national interest? You can't have a foreign policy when you don't even have a domestic identity. And if we look at African Americans, what have we been doing for the past decade? We've been playing identity musical chairs. How can we be proud of being American when we can't even be proud of who we are? How can we even understand what it means to be an American when every couple of days we're adopting a new identity, trying to appropriate someone else's identity, steal it away from them because we want to be anything but black? If we look at our history and how we are fundamental, or some would call it foundational, to the creation of this country. Well, if we disown the country, why would we ever care to have any loyalty to our ancestors who helped build this country and make it great? See, when you betray your flag as a black American, you're not just betraying yourself. You're betraying your whole heritage, your whole identity. If you betray your country, why are you propping up Malcolm X? If you betray your country, why are you propping up the Tuskegee Airmen or Booker T. Washington or Marcus Garvey or any of the people who helped forge or create, who were fundamental in helping to knit the tapestry that is this country. But you know what the most tragic part about this situation is? This vacuum, this spirit of disloyalty that prevails among us as Black people, it makes it absolutely impossible for us to build anything. See, I'm Black just like you. And I would go as far as saying I'm pro-Black. I have dreams, aspirations. I want to move to Africa and be there. Just be there. And give everything I got for the rest of my life to a country that is dominated by people who not only look like me, but share my same ethnic history. But how can you even plan for the future with a bunch of people who have shown an unwavering and indomitable capacity for disloyalty? You can't plan a future. You can't engineer a business empire. You can't secure a legacy when the foundation is built on the shifting sands of someone else's feelings. Domestically, here in America, we're fragmented. Abroad, we're written off and dismissed. Until we reclaim our hold on this little thing called loyalty, something that starts with a person looking in the mirror and being real about the situation they are facing, when we start looking at the family down the street and saying, hell, even if I don't agree with something, maybe I have to do it because it serves the best interest of someone else who's not in the same position as me. We'll never be builders. We'll continue to simply be tools that are pulled out and used at the architect's whim. Whenever one of these political parties decides to dust us off, use us for a little bit, and throw us back in the garage until the next 4 years. Let me tell you something. Last night, I had a great discussion with a good friend of mine right on this show. If you didn't watch it, go check out yesterday's show. But I had a good conversation with my buddy Alan, and I really like Alan because Alan, he comes to conclusions much in the way I do. He looks at the facts and then he formulates an opinion based on that. Now, when someone does that, if you disagree with that person, there's no need to villainize that person, and you can have a real conversation. And even if the conversation ends with you two both being at odds in your support of something, you still understand that at least this person is receptive to facts and reasoning and places that over unchained emotion, feelings, and sentiment. That's what I like about Alan. He doesn't agree with me on the conflict in Iran, but he does understand certain facts about the way the country is run, and he understands who is the better option still going forward when it comes to leadership of this country. That's inarguable, right? But then I was hit up by another friend of mine in Instagram, and he's a good buddy of mine, and he comes at me kind of in a different way. He's like, oh man, you don't understand Israel this, Israel that, Israel this, Israel that. And I'm just kind of like, yo. When did you become anti-Semitic? And it's not that I have a problem with him being anti-Semitic, because I tell people every day, I don't really care about Israel one way or another one. It's no skin off my back. But what I was questioning was not only the angle, but the motive for why he adopted the position he adopted, right? And I presented two very clear facts to him, and those facts just were immediately dismissed. And I'm like, whoa, slow down, bro. Because while you're jumping back to how Israel, blah, 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 I just gave you 2 facts and you didn't even listen to them. You didn't hear them or see them or read them or nothing. You just went back to what's prescribed. And I want to go factually, and I want to ask you if you see what I see right now. What I see is the Democrat Party and the mainstream media has shifted, along with Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and a number of other political talking heads. They have shifted to an anti-Israel message. And it's right to do that. I don't understand why we give Israel money either, or why a lot of our politicians are beholden to Israel. But what I know is this. Since I was little, a young boy, the United States government has supported Israel. The Democrat Party has supported Israel. And the black people that I love and hold close to heart, they have supported the Democrat Party. Please give me a 1 in the comments if you agree with this statement. It's like the Trump thing where he was like, everybody stand up. Please give me a 1 in the comments if until this time right now, you never heard a black person say anything negative about the state of Israel. Because me personally, growing up, I never heard any of these Negro Democrats, my family members voting Democrat, say anything negative about Israel. But all of a sudden, as the Democrat Party shifts to they pretend to shift to a anti-Israel sentiment, and the mainstream media pretends to shift to an anti-Israel sentiment, I noticed that black people are doing that. I remember when black people used to go at Louis Farrakhan for expressing anti-Israel sentiment and anti-Jewish sentiment. I remember hearing a black person call Louis Farrakhan anti-Semitic because he had wrote a book, I think, The Secret Connection Between Blacks and Jews, or he had commented on or commented about Jews or something like that. And I remember kind of thinking like, yeah, black people, we're not really anti-Semitic at all. And I didn't understand why or why not. I just thought Jewish people were irrelevant to our lives. So we just didn't have an opinion on them. But what I'm trying to understand is why people who were on my channel 4 years ago, who never said shit about Israel in a negative way, all of a sudden are like, Brandon, you got to understand, it's Israel, da-da-da. And then they're like, bro, you changing. And I'm like, but I never changed. Didn't care about Israel then, don't care about them now. You don't see me doing shows about, oh my God, the tragedy, Israel got by. I don't care, simply don't give a damn. But if I'm in the middle not giving a damn, and we've been on this mission like, yo, we got to focus on what's going on with us. Because that's what we've been talking about for the past 5 to 7 years. We've been talking about focusing on black shit. Reparations, live black, love back, buy black, build the black economy. Let's go to Africa, all this stuff. And I don't understand how Israel has anything to do with that. For us to hate them or like them or whatever. They have their issues over there in the dust where they live, in the dirt, in the shithole. We have our situation here in America by way of Africa, and we're trying to build that. My question to all my friends is this: why the fuck did you take a detour towards anti-Semitism, which takes your focus from Africa, which is what we supposed to all be focusing on? I don't have enough energy to talk about hating Israel or how Israel's behind blah, 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 blah. That shit don't mean nothing to nobody. That has no real life impact on anybody black in America, period, across the board. So why do I have people in my inbox bringing up Mossad? Why do I have people in my inbox sharing me anti-Semitic videos on YouTube? I don't care. All I know is if you talk about them, you're most likely going to get banned off of YouTube. So guess what? I do what I do best. Mind my fucking business and act like I don't give a fuck about it, because I don't. I truly don't. I had a little spat with Jewish people back when the Kyrie Irving situation happened. And a lot of Jewish people came into my channel. And they were angry with me because I said, well, whenever you criticize Jewish people, it's a problem. And I feel like they make up this lie. Everyone wants to kill us. They're to me, they're much like the transgender movement. They feed their people this nonsense about everybody on earth wanting to annihilate them. And that's how they kind of keep everybody in the like group think, like sick, like it's kind of sick when you think about it. But that's how they keep everybody in the group think, right? And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. I would never approve of anything like that. But I understand that Muslim people do it too. I have my criticisms of them as well. But the only connection that I have to this entire situation is this. Iran screams death to America. I happen to live in America. Iran has expressed the willingness to kill Americans, and I happen to be an American. That is my connection to it. That's where it starts. That's where it ends. What do I know for a fact? Because that's all that really matters, not really your feelings. I had a black man tell me last night that the fact that Iran has admitted to having nuclear uranium enriched to 60%, which can be used to make a nuclear weapon, doesn't matter because Israel, whatever about Israel. I said, bro, forget Israel. Our kids live in America. If they get a nuke and detonate that hole in America, our kids are going to die. So you're telling me, and this is the question I pose to all of you, no, Kofi, whatever, and this is black people. Because I would like to keep my kids from getting annihilated, I'm ignorant. No, nigga, you're ignorant. You're ignorant and you're a bitch. Because you would rather run the risk of your kid getting killed in some stupid military conflict from some terrorists than being like, yo, man, go bomb these dudes and make sure they don't never get no uranium or nothing else ever again. I want to ask black people, did the black community have beef with Osama bin Laden before he blew up the World Trade Center and killed thousands of black people? That's my question. Did you have a personal issue with Osama bin Laden before that bitch got some guys to fly a plane into the World Trade Center and kill thousands of people? I just want to know. Thousands of blacks. Because when it comes down to it, all this bullshit, fake ass virtue signaling ain't gonna get you nothing. You niggas ain't going up against the United States because you care about Iran or none of this stuff. You're going up against the United States because you're disloyal. And you've been disloyal to every damn thing that you've ever encountered every time throughout history. You have no loyalty. That's what the issue here is. And that's why all of the people within your group who can build something, they build it and they don't include you. Because they know that the minute you don't like something they do or they don't do what you think they should do, you're going to try to undermine everything they're doing. You think that black people just start being disloyal to every damn thing because of the war in Iran? Look at their freaking community. They won't even get the gangbangers out. They won't even say, this is what they do. Somebody shoot up the whole neighborhood. Stop snitching. You got black people right now going at Gucci, right? I don't know if y'all know Gucci Mane. You got black people right now going at Gucci Mane for calling the police when he was damn near kidnapped by, what's that boy name? Pooh Shiesty. When he was kidnapped by Pooh Shiesty. They're not like, damn, man, bro could have killed Gucci. Gucci got a family. Gucci got kids. Gucci got a wife. No. They're like, oh, Gucci's a bitch for snitching. That's disloyalty to law and order and safety. Most black people, they're not loyal to anything. And I love that my brother Tim Speed is here. He said, I look at your title and tell me, who does Black America owe loyalty to? They at least owe loyalty to each other, and we don't even have that. My brother, if Trump got to bomb Iran to keep Iran from launching a bomb or a nuke or whatever and killing your black family, I'm going to have to say do that. Because I don't know what the hell they got or they don't got. All I can go by is what they said they got. And Iran said, we got uranium enriched to 60%. And then I can go to the internet and I can say, hey, internet, can uranium enriched to 60% be used to make a nuclear bomb? And the internet say, yes. And I say, okay, let me use my brain, my powerful black brain that dominated the world for 200,000 years. Okay, if they have uranium enriched to 60% based on what they said that. Google, use your Googles right now. They said that. And I know these people are building a gang of missiles like crazy. I know these dudes are down to do some terrorism. We know that. Do I run the risk of allowing them to get the nuclear weapon with which they may attack the United States and kill thousands of black people? Do I just let them? Am I cool with Trump just letting them do it? I'm just not cool with that. And if you are cool with that, or you say something dumb like, what about the Epstein files? I know that you're not really living in reality. So to answer my brother's question, who do we owe loyalty to? We owe loyalty to ourselves. I got one question. If they launch a nuke in this bitch, is it going to accidentally or conveniently miss everybody black? That's all I need to know. Because we didn't start the beef in Iran. We don't know what the hell's going on with that shit like that. But what we do know is if they get a nuke, much like what Osama bin Laden did with the planes on 9/11, it's going to affect us, whether we like it or not. See, you want to be in bed with the white man, but you don't understand that if somebody come attack him, they are also going to hit you. You will have casualties as well. Your fantasy and all that shit don't mean nothing. It means nothing. When your kids is laid up dead, damn, man, they hit us. That's reality. What did Lauryn Hill say? Fantasy is what people want, but reality is what they need. She was talking about blacks. Because we want to live in a dream world, like this the Matrix or something. No, this, that, and the third, bro. If they hit you with a nuke, dog, you ain't going to know what to do. You're going to be begging a white man to save you like Katrina. Am I lying? Am I lying? Here we go. I voted for Trump, but he let his white Christian and white Muslim high power war take each other to rocks and mortar. Bro, listen, Iran was developing weapons and enriching uranium before Trump was even elected. They enriched that shit in 2022 or the end of 2021. What are you talking about? Trump was nowhere in sight when Iran was enriching that uranium. And what did Biden do? He didn't even address it. The media ignored it. He gave them billions of more dollars. And now we are where we are today, to where we bombed them in Midnight Hammer, and now we got a conflict over there full fledged. They had 4 damn years to do whatever the hell they wanted to do under Biden. You know it just like I do. And you guys are going to act like, man, Trump just walked in, flipped the switch, and then all this shit happened. Come on, nothing. As a man, you know that nothing. I was watching South Central. As a man, if you're black, you know that reference. Bro, what? 10-speed. Come on, 10-speed. Come up here, man. Israel got nukes, but Israel ain't screaming death to America. I don't understand why black people cannot compartmentalize ideas. What the hell does Israel having nukes have to do with Iran having nukes? Iran needs nukes because Israel has them? Well, Pakistan has them, and Pakistan is an ally of Iran. So why does Iran need them? But Pakistan also doesn't scream death to America every morning. Pakistan also is not supplying weapons to terrorist groups that are killing American people, kidnapping them, and killing American soldiers. And like I told my brother last night, I said, bro, here's the thing you don't understand. And this is where I think a lot of black men just like to shut their mind off and not pay attention to just reality. Bro, this is a fact. And I only argue with fact. And 10 speed, I'm going to give you a fact. I'm going to give you a fact. Every Muslim country surrounding Iran is opposed to Iran getting nukes. Remove Israel, because Israel is a scapegoat now for black people. Y'all do know that, right? Israel, the biggest threat. If I go on 10 speed social media, I promise you, let's go back 5 years. I bet you he ain't talked about Israel at all. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I gave you the link. Click the link. Click the link. It's in the comments. Bro, Israel is not the only country that's opposed to Iran getting nuclear weapons. The what is he? The Crown Prince. What is he? Yeah, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. That guy literally was like, nah, we don't want Iran to have nukes. Because if Iran gets nukes, then we need to get nukes. Basic logic. It ain't about that. You can remove Trump from the equation. Somebody said I'm defending Trump. I don't give a fuck about Trump. What you guys don't realize about Trump, and I attribute this to black men not being able to compartmentalize either. Trump has already won the election. And in about 2 years, Trump going to be gone. Never to be heard from or thought of again. Some people say this man might not even make it out of this term. I don't do anything with thoughts of like, man, Trump, this and Trump. I'm just telling you, was Trump around when Osama bin Laden ran planes into the World Trade Center? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't at all. So this idea of terrorist threats from the Middle East is not something new. Every Democrat, the Democrats who y'all following, because that's the reality, the Democrats in cahoots with the mainstream media have planted a seed in your brain. And the seed has taken root, and now it's growing into a plant of pure confusion. You got black folks who 3 years ago was complaining about Nick Fuentes calling him a nigger. Now all of a sudden, yeah, I heard it. Let's listen to Nick Fuentes. He's right. I'm just sitting in the same spot like, yo, what? You guys would cry when I would say I have no problem with what Nick Fuentes is saying. I don't agree with him, but I have no issue with what he's saying because it doesn't bother me. Y'all used to run up my inbox, my email. Man, you need to make a video reaction to Nick Fuentes. Man, that nigga's racist. Come on, bro. I have lived through this with y'all same people telling me how horrible and bad Nick Fuentes is. So now I'm looking at it like, damn, look at how the same people now talking about I need to listen to Nick Fuentes and base my understanding of American foreign policy based on what Nick Fuentes says. I'm like, dude, I've been in the room with these people. These people are entertainers. They say whatever gets the most clicks. 90% of that shit, they don't even agree with it. I was a part of one of the biggest media houses on the West Coast. No jumper. I know these niggas don't believe that shit. Those dudes are like, what's gonna get clicks? And that's what they say. They literally look at other people and say, who's getting the most clicks today? Brandon Tatum or Adam Mockler? And then they base their message off of that. And you guys are asking me to do that. And I'm like, bro, what I offer to you, if you say, why do I watch this channel? What I offer to you is a constant, a view that is based on facts. I'm giving 10 speed. I done gave you the link 15 times. It's right in the thing. I can't get the link. I could tell you all about Israel, but I can't get the link. How you gonna beat Israel if you can't click a link to come up? This is what I'm talking about. I will never be like you. I will never let what someone else says or does impact me in an emotional way to the point where I'm jumping on a bandwagon. I was a Jehovah's Witness for a long time. I've had my time in cult and group thing. I'm not going back into that. And if I did do it, I sure wouldn't do it with ignorant people who just are literally jumping from one viewpoint to another one based on what the internet is telling them that day. My question, Black America, there is a such thing as Black America, is black people who are American. I don't know what that is. But it's black people who are American. I have a pool that you guys slow down. This is how I know a lot of you guys are writing emotionally because you're not even taking the time to spell check. And the white man gave you the internet so that you could spell check. They gave you the power to spell check so you wouldn't write shit that say, I have a pool that you're really going to like. Republicans are up to by 5. What? I can't even read that, Isaiah. I have a pool. I think you're saying I have a feeling that you're really going to like Republicans are up by 5. So we're going to win the midterm because the Democrats that have their lowest approval rating. Yeah. I mean, yeah, however you feel about that, I'll talk about that later. But what I'm saying is, my whole point, guys, is this. We only have the information we have. We have 3 facts that not a single person, I'll give you $100 if you get around these 3 facts. 1, we know Iran is down to kidnap Americans. 2 years ago, they killed 46 Americans. Like nothing, like scraping ants off a picnic table. Then they kidnapped, they funded Hamas, who then kidnapped a bunch of Americans and held them captive for like over a year. We know that for a fact. 2, what we also know for a fact is that they claimed to have uranium enriched at 60%. That's what they said. 3rd, we know they have a bunch of ballistic missiles, which they lied about the range of, by the way. We can't forget that. They lied about the range of the missiles, right? And anyone knows that you can make a nuclear warhead, strap it to the front of a ballistic missile and launch that bitch, and boom, you got a nuclear bomb that just went off. My question is, why would you want a president to risk that situation? The same attitude, and I'm coming to you right now, Darrell. The same attitude that you guys have is the same attitude that the UK had, the British government. They literally took the money from their military and they pumped it into social services, giving it to illegal immigrants coming into their country, all this stuff. Now they're at the point where their army is damn near non-existent. Their Navy, they only have 2 working aircraft carriers. And one of them is in repair right now, so they only have 1. And with that 1, they don't even have enough fuel to take it to the Persian Gulf to help Trump. The UK is not refusing to help Trump because they just don't want to. They're refusing to help Trump because they can't. All you got to do is look it up and do the research. And their country is currently being taken over by Muslim Islamic radicals. I don't understand why you want that for your children. What part of weakness helps keep your children safe? I don't understand that. I'm a man. We defend. And if something's a threat or makes itself out to be a threat, we go handle that threat. That's all I see Trump doing. At its core, hey, dude, you're making threats. You just told us you got this, that, and the third, and you got bombs. You lied. Oh, these can only go 2,500 miles. Then they launch one that damn near hits the UK. Oop, SpaghettiOs, we was lying about the range of our missiles. We can go thousands and thousands of miles more than we said. Why would you trust a regime like that? Why would you trust that? You could be dumb and trust anything, but why would you entrust your children's safety to that? And when I argue with liberals, like that one guy, Chad, the other day, he literally was like, at the end of everything, when he couldn't do any more mental gymnastics, he said, well, Iran did a fatwa where they promised not to build nukes. Iran also lied and said that their missiles could only go 2,500 miles. So I'm going to believe that? Iran also lied for years and said, we don't have uranium enriched to 60%. Then they came out of woodworks. Yeah, we do. No. Go ahead, Darrell.
I'm not. I think you got me blocked because I've been commenting in the comment section a lot, and you ain't been responding. You ain't been
Is your name
acknowledging it.
Darrell? Is your name Darrell in the comment section?
No, it's the person you asked. I'm not the person that you asked to come up. You kept giving somebody a link
But
continuously.
what is your name in the comment section?
KAZ. KAZ is my name in the comment section.
I see you. KAZG1750. Nigga, if you just comment nonsense, I ignore it.
All right, so my first question for you is
Wait. Before you ask me the first question, we're having an honest conversation here, right? No bullshit, funny business, straight up and down man talk.
Why would
right?
I be trolling about anything? I'm not a
you're
leftist.
Trolling in the comments.
No, I was asking you genuine questions. I asked you why you always support Trump. That's not me trolling. You always defend
some shit
Trump.
About.
Then you. Okay. What trolling comment did I make?
Okay, what thing has Trump done? Listen, what thing that Trump has done hurts me directly as an African American? The link is in the comments.
I don't know what he's done, but one thing I can tell you is, hold up. Are you gonna let me answer? You say that, right? And it all sounds good and dandy if you kept that same energy with the left or the Democrats. See, I'm somebody that's in the middle. You always point out what the Democrats are doing to impact your life, what they're doing to mess your life up. But then when I ask you about Trump right now, what has he done directly to impact my life? Well, that shows that you have favoritism. If you acknowledge that, I respect it.
Listen. I asked
now you rolling your eyes.
No, I'm not rolling anything. I asked you a very simple question. And audience, pay very close attention to this. I asked you a very simple question. What has Trump done that has a negative impact on my life? If you started with what you should have asked, what have Democrats done that affects you negatively? Then I can tell you what they've done. But up until this point, Trump ain't really done nothing that affect me in any negative way.
Okay, so your gas prices aren't high right now?
My gas prices are high because of Democrats in California with $2.50 of state tax attached to every gallon.
Okay, so the war in Iran, it doesn't impact California, it just impacts all the other 49 states?
Well, no, the war in Iran doesn't really have an impact on California because California has its own ability to pump all the oil and make all the gas we need. But when our governor we used to have 40 refineries in this country. Our governor shut down all but 13 of them. That's what's making our gas high. We have all the oil we need. I live right by Signal Hill, one of the biggest reserves of oil in America. They're not pumping because the governor of California. So how does that have anything to do with Iran?
And one thing I've also noticed, because I used to listen to you
I want you to acknowledge what I'm saying. I'm not pivoting
because what you just said was kind of ignorant. You just pretty much said that everything that's going on in Iran has no impact on California. I understand California having the third largest economy, but that's an ignorant statement, so I ignored it.
Okay,
just to not go back.
Listen. I don't want you to dismiss my statement as ignorant because you don't live in California, so you really don't know what's going on here. Right now in California, gas. I do the highest grade. I paid yesterday $5.59 a gallon. Do a math calculation. What is $5.59 take away $2.50?
Okay, so the oil supply.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not even listening. You're not even trying. If you take away the California gas tax, I'm paying $3.09 a gallon. What the hell does Iran have to do with a state-imposed gas tax that they hide in something called regulatory fees and charge me $2.50? Because I don't know if you know this, California uses a special blend of gas that no other state in America uses, and they charge us for that. And they did that because of environmental whatever. So a person with gas in Texas can't ship that gas to California and put it inside of a gas station. So if we took $2.50 away from $5.59, I would be paying $3 a gallon for gas. So what are you talking about? What the hell does Iran have to do with that?
Okay, first of all, you implying that California has a certain tax on fuel and gas.
This is not an implication.
That's been there. Hold on. That's a personal problem. When has this tax been imposed on California? Will you please answer that question?
This has been here for like forever, as long as I was born.
Exactly.
And it just keeps
so
increasing.
if I was you and it was that big of a problem, you know what a lot of people in California do? They move to places like Texas. So
why
okay,
would I move when
that's
we
first.
got a governor? We have the leading candidate for governor right now.
I just gave you a
Chad
common
Bianco.
sense solution to
No,
a tax that
no.
you don't like to impact your
Listen,
life
listen,
in California. That has
No,
nothing to do with Iran.
what I'm telling you, no, listen, I deal with the tax the way I deal with it. But what I'm not going to do is try to lie and say, oh, it's because Trump's war in Iran that gas is so high. That's what you're trying to do. I accept the tax I lived under.
Okay, so when I make this statement
hold on,
right
bro,
now.
Hold on. I'm making a statement. Hold on. Our leading candidate for governor right now, Chad Bianco, he's a Republican. He's leading in all the polls. One of his proposals is he's going to get rid of the gas tax. So I'm not going to do like every other Californian. Move to Texas and make Texas blue with bad voting policies. There's enough Californians in Texas. Going to Texas ain't fixing California, the place where I grew up. Unlike you, I would like to live in the place I grew up and travel everywhere else. I don't like Texas. I don't like the weather. It's bad. So I'm not used to that. Plus I have a family. So what I'm telling you is it ain't that simple. But bro, you want me to blame this on Iran. That's the lazy, ignorant nigga way of dealing with problems. I'm not a lazy-minded, ignorant nigga.
Okay, first of all, you're implying that I'm ignorant.
I didn't say you were ignorant. I didn't say you were ignorant. I said that's the way ignorant niggas solve problems, by just blaming. I didn't say you're ignorant.
So now let me give you facts with the correlation between California and Iran. So I'm not ignorant anymore. And if you dispute it, yeah. Mm-hmm. So are you sure? Are you aware of the shutdown? Yeah. Are you sure? Are you aware of the key shutdown of the shipping lanes in the Persian Gulf?
That has nothing to do with California.
Because all of California's oil does not come from California's 13 remaining.
And why is that? And why is that? And why is that? Why is that?
Bad leadership, correct?
And who's the leadership? Trump? Democrat. Gavin Newsom.
In California, that would be Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. Jerry Brown before him. They were bad leaders.
That still doesn't take away from the fact of what's happening in Iran impacting what's going on in California.
That doesn't have anything to do with California. That has nothing to do with California.
See, I can't even argue with you because I see you just one-sided. No, peace out, my brother.
I'm not. Okay, look, he lost the argument, so he's like, peace out. But this is what I'm telling y'all. This is what black men think is making a logical argument. Hey, man, I don't know shit about this subject, but I'm going to speak on it like I do. Then when you give me the information about it, I'm going to get mad and run away. He said he was going to read me something, and when he reads it, if I refute it, do you notice he never read it? Because it was bullshit. This dude is never going to do more research than me. I know. Gas is hard. Gas is high. Gas is a speculative resource. Like, if things look hairy, they'll raise the price. But as things kind of normalize, it goes down. America doesn't even get, I think America might ship 1% or less of anything that imports here through the Strait of Hormuz. But if oil companies are gouging prices, using Iran as an excuse, well, then you need to address the price gouging that's being done on behalf of oil companies. But black folks are like, if you don't put your brain in a blender and become stupid, we don't like you. Give me a 1 in the comments if you feel like I handled that conversation fairly, because I did. But this is what I'm telling you. Go on TikTok. Go on TikTok. That's where 90% of black people are getting their information from. Dude, if you say something factual that the host doesn't agree with, they rip you down. I know, I've been over there. The minute you say something that the host doesn't agree with, they rip you down, whether it's true or not. That's why I don't understand why y'all on the internet getting information trying to run up and debate people with it. You know that you go listen to Echo Chamber. You know you go listen to podcasters based on who you agree with. I watch CNN. I watch MS Now. I watch The View. I watch the people who I don't agree with. So I know what I need to try to fact check. Okay, let me see. Let me see if there's some truth to this. Let me see if this is bullshit. And if I fact check the people who I don't agree with, that prepares me to argue against them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I heard that lie already a while back. And these are the facts. Russ, what up?
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right. So I was just coming in here because I don't really know too much about politics, but I watch the show a lot. And
Thank you.
you're saying that the war on Iran has nothing to do with the prices on gas in California?
No, it has no impact on California's gas prices. Like almost little to none, if any, none.
Okay. You were saying you got like a $2.50 tax or whatever.
Yes.
And you were subtracting that from the prices now. I'm
Yes.
saying I live up like Cleveland. I'm paying over $4 right now.
Okay.
And you're saying that you guys only have 13 refineries at the moment.
And we have 40.
Yeah, but you guys only using 13. So I'd assume
Well, the governor shut down for
right,
20.
right. Which is his fault. But I mean, I feel like the war in Iran's gonna have some effect on California at all.
I mean, that's your feeling. But I'm telling
But
you
what-
the facts over your feeling.
So California is the only state not affected.
California has a lot of we have one of the largest economies on earth. So California has a lot of ability to be self-reliant. California purposely undermines our ability to provide for ourselves so the governor can buy things from other countries and other states so he can line his pockets. You see what I'm saying? It's like
But
it's
is
like
California the only state not affected?
no, there's other states not affected. I mean, the median gas price is not super high. But what's killing us is tax. So the median gas price right now in Cleveland is between $3.50 to over $3.70 per gallon right now. So you could be paying for something that could be, just a profit for the gas
Right.
station or the gas whatever. But if without the taxes, ours would be $3.09. So we would all be within that $3 to $4 range. We should all be around under $3.50 a gallon. Everything else, I believe, is and I believe if we did the research, we would find it's just price gouging.
I mean, I just want to come up and ask. I was just curious about that. And also, I feel like a lot of your. I mean, I get it, you're from California, but I feel like a lot of the stuff you bring up is just mostly California stuff. Like, I mean, the whole country's affected by a lot of this shit.
Yeah, but what I want you to understand is California is where you're going, right? I believe you're in a good spot with Trump and the Republicans in charge. But what human nature is to say, well, I experienced discomfort under this side, so I'm going to run to this side. It's like saying your mom, you know what I'm saying, she don't got the money to buy you everything you want, so you want to run across the street and go live with the neighbor, right? But if you go to the neighbor kid's house, his daddy molesting him, and you just don't know. So with California, because it's run 100% by Democrats, I'm telling you guys, I'm attempting to show you guys, my perspective comes from where you're going. And I'm telling you, you're better off where you are. Because if you get these dudes in power again, they're moving to be more like California and New York. They're not saying, look, we need to go back to the middle. They're going more extreme, right?
Well, I mean, I definitely agree. Trump's definitely in the right. Like, he's doing a lot of shit. I mean, I'm always all for it.
And that's leadership. Where do you work?
Where do I work? I work at a diesel shop.
Okay, diesel shop. I'm sure there's shit that your boss does that you don't like, right? Everyone's boss does things that they don't like. But at the end of the day, you got to look up and say, look, man, this guy's been having this diesel shop 20, 30 years. It will run with me or it will run without me. And this guy's been in charge. So even if I don't agree with everything he does, I still understand that he's the best man for the job when it comes to the management of this diesel shop. That's what I say with Trump. You don't have to agree with Trump's position on Iran. But just because I don't agree with Trump's position on Iran, I'm not running into the jaws of the wolf. A bunch of Democrats trying to turn me anti-Semitic while they're taking AIPAC money. They're lying to you. Like,
Yes,
we don't support Israel. They all take AIPAC money. Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer, AOC, they all take AIPAC money. But they're trying to make you think that they're against Israel just until they get into power. And then once they get in power, it's back to business. We would have bombed Iran whether it was a Democrat or Republican in office. I promise you. Go ahead, Russ.
I mean, personally, I got no issue with bombing Iran. I mean,
And black people really ain't got no issue with it. We just pretending.
yeah, there's no issue with it at all. But I do, like, I don't consider myself a Democrat or a Republican. I'm just use common sense, and that's one thing I like about your show. I just feel like majority of it is just common sense. People just don't be using their damn brain nowadays, and you see the shit on the news.
Look at this person. Do you want to live in Cali or Africa, yo? This was these words. I want to enjoy my home that I have purchased in California and my apartment that I have purchased in California that I'm sitting in right now, and I would like to enjoy my 2 apartments and my farm in Africa. You're just broke. It ain't easy. You're just broke. So you're trying to compare you to me. And that's what you should stop doing. And compare you to you. And wonder why you're voting and supporting shit that goes against your own best interest. Why you're black, more worried about someone in Iran than you worried about why you're not taking care of your damn kids. See, you don't know my life. But you think, oh, he's doing this, he's doing. I have interest there and I have interest here and there.
Also, you really like Indiana?
I love Indiana. Shit,
I live right next to
Northwest Indiana or whatever is great. What'd you say?
I said I live right next to. I hate that state so much.
No, it has good wrestling. It has great wrestling. I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so when I go train out there, I get a lot of good wrestlers to go against. I mean, Gary has just built an international airport. I could go out the country and go check on my stuff without even leaving. And I'm sure the airport in Indiana is way less crowded than the airport in LAX. I won't have to leave 4 hours ahead of time like I do here. And then
Gary definitely came up recently.
Yeah, they came up big time.
Way up.
They came up, and then you could own 2 or 3 homes out there. You can buy 3 houses in Indiana for the price of 1 house in California.
That's the only thing I love living about out here in the Midwest, like West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana. Cheap property, cheap land.
Yeah, and let me tell you, people are gonna start moving out there, bro. As prices go sky high on the coastal areas, they're gonna start moving back to Middle America because they're gonna go there and they're gonna say, "Damn, I can do everything I do in Miami, in Indiana or Chicago, which is close by. Or if I want to go back, I'm 2 hours away from Miami, 2 to 3 hours away from Miami, 2 to 3 hours away from LA. Quick flight. And the flights are like $98. There's no reason not to move to Middle America.
Yeah, no, when I was growing up in Ohio, I wasn't a huge fan, but I've been around the country and I always found my way coming back home.
Man, I'm telling you, it's beautiful out there, man. And you know what's crazy too? A lot of the movies and shows that we watch, they're based in the Midwest. So when you roll through, you're kind of like, man, this kind of looks familiar to me. Why? And then you're like, oh, Sheldon, young Sheldon, Stranger Things. Okay, those sitcoms or those shows are taking place in those areas. So it's almost kind of like visually you're familiar with it.
Right. Yeah. But I'm gonna lead you back to your show. But yeah, I just want to mention that, and also like one of my favorite parts of the show is when you get like the guy last night, Alan, or the other dude that cops up on here, Steve. Sometimes you gotta be going back and forth. Like I said, I don't really get too much into the politics, but I get some information here and there.
Yeah, it's good to have conversations. But what we've done in this society, we've shut down all conversation and we've replaced it with just reacting emotionally. Oh, you're bad.
Absolutely agree, yeah.
That's horrible.
Conversation down about everything. I mean, anything.
It's stupid. Yeah,
but also,
thank you. Go ahead.
One thing I do remember. I mean, I'm kind of young. I'm 27, so I remember growing up. I mean, people.
I got a black guy calling me racist. Come on, bro.
I mean, shit. That's 2026. But I mean, I remember growing up. I mean, people didn't even. My grandparents didn't even talk shit about their politics. Like they didn't tell people who voted, and now that's all this damn world is. You go online, people. That's all they talk about is the president, the politicians. Which I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I just feel like that's all people's identity is nowadays.
Man, listen, I've donated to two Democrats running for position in my town. I don't have an issue with Democrats as long as they have like rational thinking, right? One is running against our crazy mayor who wants to play the whole we hate ICE game and hang fucking big ass. We got a city hall that's like 20 stories or bigger, right? This guy wastes our taxpayer money to put a big ass banner on a skyscraper that says ICE out now. See, that to me is ignorant. You're wasting taxpayer dollars to do ignorant stuff and pander to illegals who ain't paying no taxes and can't vote for you. That's pandering. And he's black.
Yeah, that's another thing we don't have. We don't have like a huge illegal immigration thing. Well, I guess not Mexican wise. I mean, we got some like Africans and a lot of Somalians down in Columbus.
Y'all got some Nigerians.
Yeah, but other than like Mexicans and stuff, like we haven't had too many ICE raids. I mean, a few up in Cleveland and stuff, but nothing crazy. Not like out west. So, but even around here, people are still out there doing a no Kings protest and all that shit, trying to stop ICE. And it's like, I mean, you're in the wrong state for that shit.
The place to disagree is in the ballot box. If you don't like it, vote for someone else. But I think the problem is, and this is kind of a good thing, I think they kind of realize like Trump or like the Republicans are the better option. And so they're like, we're just going to hold them accountable because we can't hold our own party accountable. That's what it is. They'll never do no Kings for Democrats because they're like, they know Democrats don't give a damn. Democrats would just say, you're a fascist or, whatever. They'll just shame them. So, I don't know. Let me ask you. Go ahead. Let me ask you a real quick question. Do you think that American taxpayers should pay for lawyers for people who are being evicted for not paying rent? Like if someone's getting evicted for not paying rent, do you think that you should be taxed to pay for them to have lawyers?
Not at all.
And this is what I'm saying. These are the type of crazy ideas that the Democrat Party is throwing out to the American people. And they'll say Trump wasted this much money on the Iran conflict. Bro, we just found $146 billion of fraud in one state, California, in one program. No one wastes money more than Democrats. Go ahead.
That's the hard part for me because I really can't even imagine actually beating someone in real life that would think that's logical. Like to pay for someone's lawyers that didn't pay for their rent and got kicked out of a place they were supposed to be paying for. I mean, if someone's like, oh yeah, they gotta be defended. Like I couldn't look at them seriously and we couldn't conversation.
Man, it's silly and it's crazy at the same time. But thank you for coming up. I got this guy.
Let me have it on.
No problem. You're good.
Take
This guy said you can't leave MAGA. Okay, bro. Smart Harlem. Where would you like me to go? Tell me who would you like me to vote for? Let's do this. If Harlem comes up here and tells me who to vote for in the next election, I'll forego voting Republican and I'll vote for that person. Come on, Harlem. Here goes the StreamYard link. If you come up here and tell me who to vote for in the next election, I will not vote for the Republican candidate and I will vote for that person. But let's be real, guys. Let's be real. We already know that Harlem doesn't know. These people, and I don't want to just say black people, but black people, they don't know what you should do. They just know they don't want you to do what you're currently doing.
You're not keeping pace with inflation.
And that is the epitome of ignorance. I don't know what you should do, but I know you shouldn't do what you're doing. All right, bro. What else? Tell me where to go. Tell me what decision to make. They can't. They can't. Because they don't even know what decision they're going to make. Or their decision is probably just not voting. L.A. Thorne, he probably wouldn't even say, if he says Democrats, he know he'd be stupid. But this is what I'm telling you. And then someone like me who comes across and I'm like, dude, just chill, be patient, hold your horses, stop jumping to conclusions. I'm the villain for telling you what I would tell my kid. Hey, man, just relax. Let things play out. And then go, find the facts and then make a decision based on that. Let's see why this ignorant woman wants taxpayers to pay people's lawyer fees who get evicted for not paying rent.
Eviction is an act of violence, and we have to do everything to prevent it. It is devastating for the families. It degrades the health of communities. There is great stigma associated with it. It affects your credit score. Housing is a human right. It is a predictor of health outcomes. It's essential for social and economic mobility. And so many people, when they receive a notice to quit or to vacate their homes, usually because of non-payment, because wages are not keeping pace with inflation, they don't know their rights. And a lot of times they will just accept that notice to quit and leave. And so my legislation is making sure that they have access to legal counsel, because we have found that when tenants know their rights, when they have access to legal counsel, we can usually keep them safely housed. Eviction is an act of violence, and we have to do everything.
Okay, so I quickly Googled something. This is Ayanna Pressley. She is a Democrat out of Massachusetts, right? This woman owns several rental properties in Massachusetts. She owns property in Martha's Vineyard, though, the wealthy area, high value rents. She doesn't own anything in the hood, only where wealthy people live. But I bet you, if you decided that you weren't going to pay your rent in one of her properties in Martha's Vineyard, I promise you she would evict you. And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is what these people want us to go back to. Blatant hypocrisy. She's talking about eviction is an act of violence. But if I didn't pay rent, I bet she would evict me. She's bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in rental revenue. But she's talking about, oh, eviction is an act of violence. So that means I could move into her place and she would never evict me. But I promise you, she living in Martha's Vineyard, she probably has no black tenants. None. And probably wouldn't rent to any black tenants if she had the opportunity to. And I promise you that if they didn't pay their rent, she would evict them. She would get them the hell out. But she's going to sit up here and bullcrap us. And you can see this up on the screen. She's going to sit here and bullcrap us, blowing smoke up our butt. These are the Democrats. And you keep telling me, oh, Brandon, you shouldn't support this. Okay, so I go back and support this. This is stupid. And at least on the conservative side of the aisle, if you agree or disagree with something, you can actually have a conversation. Democrats just shame you for calling out their hypocrisy. Rent is an act of violence, but we know if someone does not pay rent, Ayanna Pressley will evict them. Oh my God. I just can't stand people who say things and what they say doesn't match what they do. Recently, her own net worth was under scrutiny because they said that Ayanna Pressley's primary source of reported assets appears to be her real estate holdings. She owns 4 rental properties in Mattapan, Boston, and Edgartown, Massachusetts, which reportedly generate a combined rental income of $95,000 to $250,000 last year. An additional property in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, purchased in 2024, brought in $50,000 to $100,000 before being sold. The Massachusetts properties alone are valued between $2.5 million and $8 million, contributing to her overall reported net worth. When she entered Congress in 2018, Pressley reported debt. She was in debt of between $610,000 to $1.2 million, mainly from 2 mortgages and an IRS tax repayment plan. So she committed tax fraud. Her latest disclosures show liabilities of $3.25 million and $9 million. All mortgages from lenders like Chase Bank, Bluestone Bank, Wells Fargo, United Wholesale Mortgage, and Crowd Lending Inc. tied to property purchases per Fox News. The Congresswoman has been a vocal advocate for criminal justice reform and frequently speaks about economic inequality. It is important to note that these financial disclosure forms, while required by law, often provide only a broad range for assets and income, making it difficult for the public to obtain precise numbers about congressional wealth, a problem that has also been seen in some of Omar's financial disclosures. Presley's office did not immediately respond to the Dallas Express. Requests for comments about the source of the money used to acquire her multiple rental properties, or whether any income was used from her congressional job. They didn't respond to any of that stuff. Okay, cool, yeah. So, yeah, the more these people jump on there, this and that is wrong, they're criminals. Why do you think one thing they all have in common is that they never want to do anything about criminal justice? Why do you think all they ever talk about is how we need to be softer on crime? Because they're committing the crimes. And they're trying to set up a system where they can do crime and get away with it. That's all Democrats are worried about. We need to create a situation where we can continue to steal and nobody will be able to hold us accountable. That's all they're talking about. So I'm not in on that. I'm not with that. I don't support that. That shit is nonsense. Now we need to go to a more important story because Donald Trump is livid about what he says is a person who leaked information about the whereabouts or the crash of the U.S. pilots in Iran. Basically, what Trump is saying is that a leaker, whoever it was, leaked the fact that there were actually two pilots who ejected from the plane, the F-15, that was shot down in the south of Iran. And that allowed the Iranian forces to coordinate attacks and searches during the rescue operation against the U.S., during the rescue operation of the second pilot. So Trump is going off and he is vowing to find this person. He's even threatening to arrest and imprison members of the media if they do not disclose who gave them the information about the down pilot, which they then, in all of their ignorance, they went and spread it all across the media, all across the internet, and that basically gave top secret information to Iran. So Iran didn't even know that there was a pilot downed in their country, or that the pilots had ejected. According to the press, the other pilots who had been hit prior, they were able to fly back to base out of danger or out of Iranian territory. But Trump is all over this leaker. And I believe he's going to find out who it is. And they're going to be in a world of trouble because that's straight up treasonous. You're going to tell because BBC was the first media company to break the news about the two pilots ejecting and one being found and the other one still being lost. And they got that information from somewhere. I've never been to Martha's Vineyard, ever. Have you? I know that's a place where rich people live. And I know when the illegal immigrants landed there, they gave them some food and got them up out of there within 24 hours.
Two extraordinary rescues, because it was two. And as you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. and talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about, because some things you can't do. Because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad it was. I can't imagine that the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security, and the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say, and that doesn't last long, and I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him, because everyone now knows that we're going in.
Okay, straight from Trump's mouth. There was a leaker who told the media that they had recovered one pilot, but that there was another pilot that they were looking for. And so Trump is all about it when it comes to finding this leaker. And he seems pretty pissed off. What do you guys think? You guys think the leaker should go to jail, or do you think, no, we have to have compassion? That's cruel and unusual. But this goes back into what I was talking about earlier with the loyalty situation. Like, bro, you're over here operating in a treasonous way against your own country. And then you wonder why people, black folks like me, look at you like, dude, you can't work with these people. You can't build nothing with people like that. It's like, how can I trust you? How can I trust you if you're able to get so riled up that you're operating in a treasonous way against your own country? Where your kids lay their head at? Here we go. Trump is not loyal to America, only to his millionaire donors. Come on, bro. Please do me a favor. Do me a favor. Tell me what politician is not loyal to their millionaire donors. Tell me. That's literally politics. That's literally politics. That's literally the name of the game. Your policy reflects or works in the best interest of the people who put you in power. And I don't know what the heck's going on with this. But your policy reflects the best interest of the people who put you in power. That's how that works. Hold on, guys. But now, all of a sudden, because Trump's in, what do you mean? He does the things that his donors want him to do. Duh. What politician doesn't do that? You guys act like this is unique to Trump. He didn't run saying, I won't do anything my donors want me to do. He ran saying, I'm going to make America a better place to live. And people are like mad at that. I don't get it. I don't get it. These black folks is talking about, I'm like, what did Trump do to hurt you? Well, gas is high. Would you believe me if I told you that gas prices were higher under Obama? For 3 years, his last 3 years, oil was $120 a barrel. Black people said nothing. I remember paying $5 a gallon. I remember paying $5 a gallon under Obama. But we gonna act like we don't remember that. Oh no, we forgot. No, you didn't forget. You're just arbitrary. If one person does something and you don't like them, it's a problem. If someone you like does it, it's cool. And that's fine in regular life and in the regular world, but it's not okay when it comes to leadership of our country. And if you got a better option, here we go. I like this. He said he'll stop never-ending wars and bring peace to the Middle East. Well, is this war going to end, or is it going to last forever? This war, and this not even a war, this is a conflict. But Trump ain't even been out there 2 months, and you call it a never-ending war. And if we get Iran to agree to this stuff in the agreement, well, that's going to make the Middle East a significantly more peaceful place. That's going to make the Middle East a significantly more peaceful place. Yeah, it's like a skirmish, I would say. Iran is just getting whooped out. Guys, we have a challenge. We have a $5 challenge. We are asking for five $5 contributions for this show. Helps us keep the lights on and keep the bills paid. You can either use Super Chat, which is at the bottom right hand corner of the chat box, the little $sign, or you can use Cash App or PayPal, which are pinned to the top of the chat. And if you guys contribute $5 Super Chats or more, we give you our thanks and praise, and we also just keep doing more topics, which I enjoy doing more topics with you guys. I really do. I really enjoy it. So if you're in a position to do so, I know it's the first of the month, so we got to pay bills, but it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance. Now, tell me, guys, what other news do we have for today? Because I told myself I was going to get a couple of topics done today. And I very well intend to. Only more peaceful for Israel, not the Muslims in the Middle East. Well, the funny thing about you saying that is that the Muslims in the Middle East don't want Iran to have nukes either. So I have to disagree with you. Multiple Muslim countries in the Middle East do not want Iran to have nukes. And then this whole like Israel's going to do this. That doesn't even make sense, because what are we learning from this conflict? Israel can't even Israel can barely handle Iran alone. So how the hell is Israel going to handle like the 54 other Muslim countries in the Middle East? There's 54 Muslim nations in the Middle East. I think it's 54. I could be wrong. Let me see. There's 57. I was wrong. There are 57 Muslim countries on the face of this planet. There is one Jewish state. I don't understand how on earth you think that Israel is a threat to the Muslim world. They would beat the dog snot out of Israel in a war. if it got to that point. Israel's getting hit right now by Iran with ballistic missiles. Could you imagine how, like, this ain't back in the day. What was that war called? Was it called the 13-Day War? Yeah. No. Was it the 7 or the 13? Give me some info. Oh, the 6-Day War, where Israel whipped up on like several Muslim countries. They beat Syria, Egypt, and a couple of other countries. So yeah, it was like several Muslim countries. Oh, they beat a coalition, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan, right? In the 6-Day War. This is not 1967, y'all. This ain't back in the day. All these countries got missiles, and all of them got missile defense systems and drones. Israel will get whooped up. Thank you, Mordecaro. Israel will get whooped up. So Israel, this ain't, y'all basing y'all assessment off of history. Y'all basing y'all assessment over the way things were. Saudi Arabia got money, bro. They could pay somebody to fight for them at that point. UAE, same thing. They got money, bro. They like, y'all, Israel is not a boogeyman. And even these countries aren't like Israel. They're like Iran. Did we all not watch the video where the crown prince of Saudi Arabia was like, Iran can never have a nuke. If they get a nuke, we need a nuke. Well, if Israel has nukes and Saudi Arabia is like, we're okay with not having nukes as long as Iran doesn't have a nuke, clearly that tells you that they're not looking at Israel as their biggest threat. All you got to do is use this right here. Use this one. But apparently we're gonna cover those ICE raids in PA. There's ICE raids in Philly. Let's cover this first. The Democrats, for as much as Trump is doing everything he can to lose the midterms, it really seems that the Democrat Party is not capitalizing on it, because according to my brother from another mother, Greg Foreman, the Democrats are, or according to CNN, really, the Democrats are still losing in national polls. Why is that? Let's find out.
Why isn't that breaking through? The Democrats in Congress are almost as unpopular as the president right now.
Well, one of the things that I will say is breaking through is that consistently for the last 15 months, Democrats have been winning elections all across the country, up and down the ballot, including most recently in deep red states like Texas, like Louisiana, and of course a few weeks ago in Florida, particularly in Mar-a-Lago. So at the end of the day, when the American people evaluate who's going to push back against Republican extremism, who is going to actually make life better for them and focus on the issues that matter, consistently they're choosing Democrats. Now, as it relates to the parties being perceived as unfavorable across the country, we understand that dynamic because the American people want to see action. Things haven't been working out for them over the last several decades. Far too many people are struggling to survive and certainly can't thrive paycheck to paycheck in this country, which should not be happening in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And so we're going to continue to forcefully push back against the extremism being unleashed on the American people, push back against the chaos, while at the same period of time convince every single American that it's us who are determined to do the things that are necessary, bring about the bold transformational changes.
And when you talk about winning pretty deeply pro-Trump states, that's what they'd have to do to get the Senate. Look at it this way. Here's the big picture map. Democrats need a net gain of 4 seats if they're going to take back the Senate. Now, the first order of business for them is They don't want to lose any ground. They got to protect a couple seats here. The three you're thinking of there, it's John Ossoff in Georgia. It's also Democratic-held seats in New Hampshire and Michigan. They don't want to lose any of those. That would only add to the Republican majority and make the Democrats' hill probably too steep. But if they do win those three, hold on to them, then they still need that net gain of 4 seats. And they'd be looking to do it probably from this list. These are the 6 Republican seats that I think to some degree folks think are going to be in play this year. Now, again, Democrats need 4. You could look at Maine, Susan Collins running in a state that already didn't vote for Trump. That's the most realistic for Democrats. Of course, Collins has survived in some tough conditions before, but that could be one for Democrats. North Carolina, Democrats excited about their candidate there, the former governor, Roy Cooper. Trump only won it by 3 points. That's not unrealistic at all for Democrats. That could be 2, but then draw a line there because the complexion politically of these states changes. Ohio, Alaska, Iowa, Texas, Democrats hoping to pick up Republican seats here. All of them double-digit states for Donald Trump. These aren't just red states. These are, in the Trump era, these are very red states, certainly in 2024. And the political atmosphere is just different in red states. Take a look at this. This from sort of a compilation of all of our NBC News, CNBC polling. Our pollsters put this together here. Trump states, that's what we're talking about. Democrats needing to win at least 2 of those Senate races here versus swing states versus Harris states. Views of Donald Trump. In swing states, they're almost 10 points more negative than positive. In Trump states, Trump is above water by 3 points. Views of the Democratic Party, they're not good anywhere. 23 points negative in swing states, but almost 10 points worse than that in red states. Views of the Republican Party, they're not that good anywhere, but they're almost even in these Trump states. So again, if Democrats are going to win back the Senate this year, they got to protect all their seats, but they got to win 2 of this group of 4. They probably have to win 2 of this group of 4 in a much less hostile environment in all the states to Trump than you're going to get in the average swing state now.
Yeah, so I think that I think the Democrats do have a chance to win, but what I think is the Democrats will blow their opportunity to win because I believe Democrats are still beholden to hardline, far left, radical thinking and leaning individuals. And they just don't want to risk what might happen if they say, you know what, we're going back to the middle and we're not entertaining the crazy stuff anymore. And to me, that's what should worry everyone. Hold on, I got something on my lens. To me, that's what should worry everybody. How the hell am I going to be in a party or vote for a party that will sway back and forth like with the wind based on what a crazy blue-haired freak is saying about politics? It's like, I don't know, guys. It's pretty clear. The Democrat Party is a party of the mentally ill. And it's okay to be an advocate for people who are suffering from mental illness. But it's a problem when you are allowing those people to control the messaging and the narrative, and most importantly, the actions of your party. That is untenable. That is not something that can be sustained. You cannot allow, the fringes of your voter base to dictate policy. And that's what they're doing. Every politician that's Democrat that you look at, it's just like, what? Like, you hear them say things like this guy, James Tallarico in Texas. They got rid of Jasmine Crockett, but just to put this damn baloney bender in freaking place. And bro talking about trans kids are made in the image of God and all this. Like, bro, you just doing too much. I understand if you support trans kids, but ain't no trans kids voting. And very few parents of trans kids are voting. So at that point, you're just pandering. And I'm sorry, I don't think anyone likes a panderer, because usually a panderer is pandering to someone who has less impact on the elections or whatever than the people who have just been loyal day in, day out, day one Democrat voters. And I think when people don't know what to do, they either stay home or they go in the direction of common sense. And in my opinion, which you don't have to agree with it, I think the Republicans and Trump are still the most common sense choice. They're doing a lot to try to undermine that. but at least they're not trying to do like genetic gender reassignment surgery on my kid without my permission. And that's where a lot of people are with this. Okay. Oh, shout out to DBZ. What if? JB. I'm only 20, but I F with you. Only reason I was watching No Jumper. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Hey, the young folks are locked in. Y'all don't even understand. Go watch Dean Withers or Adam Mockler. 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. They're calling in. They have an opinion. They're going to vote. So it's very important that you help them understand, what we're dealing with in these political situations. But don't worry, bro. Keep watching. I got some pop culture stuff coming for you tomorrow. I'm definitely posting some celebrity beef because I've been getting a lot of requests for that. So I'm gonna show some love on that front. Again, DBZ. But I don't support Trump. I don't support Trump this presidency, my brother. You don't have to. You don't have to. My job is to give you the facts. And if you hear the facts and you still don't support Trump after that, I'm not going to try to convince you. None of that. I like people who have their own mind and who look at things and make a decision based on what they think. This is not an echo chamber. Anyone can come up here, talk, give their opinion, whatever you want to do. So there's a lot of things I don't agree with people on. But that doesn't mean I shut them out. I'm not a Democrat. Oh, I don't agree with you, so you're a fascist. That's stupid, just ignorant, kitty, childish shit. What's my brother Lunatic said? Facts, Brandon. How we replace a woman who's simply speaking her mind for a delusional crazy person. 100%. Bro talks like a damn cult leader. James Tellerico. I don't like that dude. To me, he's fake as hell. And he's one of those dudes he's like Brandon Johnson. Well, as long as I say it calmly, it doesn't matter what I say. And it's like, nah, bro, it do matter what you say. You can't be in this joint talking crazy, or we gonna call you out and get your ass up out of here, straight up. Okay, guys, are we going to? Okay, we'll do one last one. Around on Trump. Oh God, Trump said we blowing up the whole country, Lord Jesus. Dang, Stephen A is everywhere with his black ass. Oh, let's do the PA. What they doing? They out there ice raiding shit. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. ICE agents make 13 arrests at Armstrong County Driver's License Center.
Keeping an eye on.
Hey, they over here in Philly. They in Pittsburgh. So they in Pennsylvania. They over here cooking, bro. Man, I think y'all should just self-deport at this point. Because clearly Trump ain't stopping. And I think a lot of people think if we can prove that Trump's a fascist, they'll let us stay in the country. And that ain't looking like it's the case. Let's go. Hey, facts. We need them CDL jobs. For real.
Armstrong County now, where over a dozen people were arrested after ICE was called to a DMV Friday. KDKA's Ricky Sayer went to that location and spoke to witnesses to get a better picture of what happened.
In total, the Department of Homeland Security says ICE arrested 13 people, referring to them as illegal aliens. They also say that one of them resisted arrest and assaulted a local officer. Long lines inside and a packed parking lot with multiple tractor trailers caught the attention Friday of people living near this DMV.
I tried to call ICE about that morning when I noticed all the foreigners in there, and nobody was speaking English.
Well, Gary,
Hey, bro, these white people is cold game. I tried to call ICE early this morning. Hey, bro was like, I'm a proud snitch. I'm showing my face on camera. He doesn't care, man. Because at the end of the day's got to end. And the biggest issue in this country, which I think people will never forgive the Democrat Party for, is allowing 20 million illegal criminal alien migrants to cross over into the United States of America, totally unvetted. I talked to one lady the other day, and she was like, I don't even care about illegal immigration. I'm just mad because they made me wear a COVID mask and made me get vaccinated. And they then turn around and let a bunch of illegal immigrants up in the country who wasn't wearing masks and wasn't vaccinated. So a lot of people, like, this hit people like on a personal level. Because what did that do? That made Americans feel like American politicians care more about people from other countries than they do about the people who are putting them in power. And let's be real. When it comes to the Democrat Party, that's absolutely true.
Klingensmith didn't get through to ICE. DHS says the East Franklin Police Department did. DHS says concerned citizens had reported to local police an abnormally large amount of individuals outside the driver's license center.
I just know it's odd.
He says people were packed inside tractor trailer cabs.
Like when they opened the door, like 10 people came out.
Ryan Moore saw it differently.
But there wasn't any kind of suspicious activity going on. You know, they were standing at the door with papers in their hands.
She was there when ICE arrived.
Our hands.
She was there when ICE arrived.
Does anyone see the consistent, like, narrative here? Older white man, I'm calling ICE, they look illegal. Young, she just don't got the blue hair, but she's definitely a freak, and not in the way that I like. And she's defending illegal criminal aliens. The same illegal criminal aliens who are brutalizing and doing all types of heinous acts to young white women around her age. These people are suffering from a lot of things, but common sense and rational thinking is not one of them. There's like literally a like type, bro. Like there's literally like a physical look to these crazies. Libtards, facts, Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, you in Philly, right? Vanessa in Philly, man, she know all about it.
I saw some ICE agents taking down a whole bunch of people.
ICE says 13 were arrested from Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan.
I mean, there were people running through our yard.
They're not even Mexicans. They're damn Middle Easterners. Could be working with Iran. Could be a part of Hamas, for all you know. This is what I'm talking about. We let all these criminals up in here. So if we do go to get beef with the Middle East, we already didn't let the covert agents into the country. See, that's bullshit.
All these yards running this way. They were handcuffing someone on the corner, handcuffing someone over here.
A big question has been why they were all at the DMV.
Hey, bro, kind of happy.
They needed a renewal for their CDL, and I believe they had to do it in person.
Sally Simpson is a legal observer with the ICE Rapid Response Group Frontline Dignity. They put out a statement saying, quote, an alleged website error is directing people to the West Katanning DMV for in-person commercial driver's license renewal, but the service is not available there.
Renewal for their CDL, and I believe they had to do it in person.
Bruh, she looked just like the other chick. Why these chicks all look like Tank Girl? She's bald-headed as hell, too. I'm telling you, there is a physical look, a physical appearance. You must be bald-headed and white and look like a third-grade teacher who got fired from messing with one of the students to support illegal immigrants.
And I believe they had to do it in person.
Sally Simpson is a legal observer with the ICE Rapid Response Group Frontline
What is a
Dignity.
legal
They
observer?
put out a statement saying, quote,
Anyone
an
could
alleged
observe
website error is
legally.
directing people to the West Katanning DMV for in-person commercial driver's license renewal, but the service is not available there. We did find a sign saying DOT CDL exams are offered at the building, but by the chiropractor's office.
What?
Not the DMV.
I think that it's disgusting that people need to be afraid by the color of their skin just to go and get their whatever they want to do throughout the day done.
They're illegal immigrants. Color of the skin don't got nothing to do with it. G.I. Jane. No, Brandon, that's a man. That ain't no damn man.
Well, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. If I don't think anybody that comes into the country legally, I don't care what their nationality is, should be thrown out. But if you come in illegally, which most of them must have been because half of them took off, it shouldn't happen.
The Department of Homeland Security says the incident remains under investigation. Ricky Sayer, KDK TV News.
It's just so crazy in America. We used to all have a common understanding. Now it's like you got a group of people within the country who want to just be they just want to be against anything that they feel like Trump does or anything that has to do with law and order or law enforcement. I just think it's messed up. People have to be afraid by the color of their skin. No, people have to be afraid based on the status of their citizenship, just like anybody in any other country, right? Kev, what you talking about, Kevy Kev? Kevy Kev in the building. What's this? Oh, let me get this. One more thing. What's your take on figures like Dr. Malachi Z. York or Bobby Hemmett? I think, isn't Malachi Z. York the dude in jail for doing some funny business with the Nuwapians? And then Bobby Hemmett, I have no opinion on him. They're all grifters. That's what I think. Religious grifters of Malachi Z. York. Yeah, he in prison. Why did Gavin Newsom pay $19 million to have people from New York talk good about California? Sounds like a waste of money and fraud. The crazy thing we've seen within the crazy things we've seen within the last week. No, 100%. And I tell everybody, I don't care how you feel about Trump or whoever else. You vote Democrat, you're voting for chaos and craziness. And you are within your right to vote Democrat. But when you vote and get the results of your vote, I don't want to hear no complaining. They're not only telling you that they're crazy and unfit to lead, they're literally showing you when you look at the people who are actually supporting them. Just crazy ass females, crazy looking females who just sound, they look and they sound crazy. They look and they sound like something's wrong with them. So if that's if that's who you would like to entrust with your political future, go right ahead. But what I'm telling you is these type of people, they are ruled by their feelings, bro. They'll do something one day and based on how they feel the next day, they'll turn and go totally against that one thing they supported with very little, if any, facts-based evidence to justify doing so. It's ridiculous. I'm just waiting to see aliens from Planet X. Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So we're coming. Hey, you guys have showed incredible love with the super chats. I gotta get out of here. I feel like I had one more though. No, I don't. I thought I had one more, but I guess I don't. Let me make sure I don't got nothing lingering nowhere. If you guys contribute to Cash App, PayPal, or anything like that, let me know so I could log in and shout you out. Okay, no, nothing there. Okay, good. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. Appreciate you and everything you do for this channel. I might be back later on today. I'm not sure yet. Oh, I do have stuff to do for real. But I might be back later on today. I'm not sure yet because I kind of have a regular time that I've been going at for the past couple of days. So I might come back later on with some more topics. But if I don't, peace till tomorrow. But if I do, peace until then. Thank you so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do for me and the channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, Please take care of each other. Peace.